Hello and welcome. In this video we're looking at the Vor'Cha class attack cruiser, and we're looking at the Vanity Shield visuals from the Tier 6 reputations, the Dilithium store, the Zen store and the Summer and Winter event stores. Then we'll look at the shields that you equip to your ship that also have visuals that you can just slot into the visual section instead. So the first section, as always, is the Tier 6 reputation Vanity Shields. So once you get your reputations such as your Omega, your Gamma, Lukari, Iconian and so forth up to Tier 6, you can slot these as active projects and create these Vanity Shields. So they're only equipable in the visual slots, they do not go in the shield slot on the ship. So the first one which I'll have a look at is the 8472 Vanity Shield from the 8472 reputation. So we are using the Vor'Cha template and the Vor'Cha material for this ship. So we can see some of the Vor'Cha material coming through here. So we've got this white hull material as well. You can see this green here on the end of the Bizarre collectors there. We've got green there for the impulse engines, and we've got some green here on the nacelles as well. This eliminated green line throughout certain parts of the ship. It's got the Klingon writing invisible. And then we've got this ridge pattern here, one of these eliminated lines here at the aft, and some of the eliminated circles there. And we're the same on the underside, more of the ridge details and the eliminated lines. Next we come to the competitive Wargames Vanity Shield. So we've got this light grey hull material with this yellow lighting effect here at the front. We're retaining the red of the Bizarre collectors there, red there on the impulse engines, and red on the nacelles as well. See some of this yellow reflective panelling here along with this yellow illuminated dashes and dots on the hull. Retaining some of the existing material there. You see more of those illuminated yellow dots and dashes, and more of the illuminated yellow here. And we're the same there on the underside. Not too many of the reflective panels on this ship though. Here we have the Delta Alliance shield from the Delta Alliance reputation. This green deflector here, we've got green there on the Bizarre collectors, and some more illuminated green lines as well. Green there for the impulse engines, a bit green there at the back of the nacelles. Green on the nacelle itself, and more of the illuminated green lines that are slightly pulsating as well. Now with this teal green lines appearing on quite a few sections of the ship as well. And we've got more of that green illuminated lines, more of that green teal line colour as well. And we're the same there on the underside. Next up it's the Discovery Legends Vanity Shield, so certainly my least favourite visual in the game so far. So this just gives this oily effect covering the hull of your ship, so it uses your base hull material and just gives it that oily look to it. Next up it's the Dyson Joint Command Vanity Shield. So we've got this greyish hull material. It's illuminated pink lines here. And we've got this pink and black pattern here at the front as well, retaining the red of the Bassard collectors from the hull material there. Same on the impulse engines and the nacelles themselves. So I'll see some of the green of the base hull material coming through. There's a better view of those illuminated pink lines in the hull material. Better view on the larger part of the engineering. I always see quite a bit of the detail there. And we're the same there on the underside. Here we have the Gamma Vanity Shield. So with this purple effect here on the Bassard collectors, with this metallic finish to the hull material itself. Unfortunately, we're still getting this red glow retained from the engines, which isn't there anymore. Also got this yellow here on the deflector, the purple there for the impulse engines and the nacelles themselves. That's the darker purple there, and then with this pattern effect here on this rosy section as well. As we rotate through, as the light hits those deeper purple sections, it's actually that blue shine coming through there. Same there on the underside. This is the Iconian Resistance Vanity Shield. So with this white and pinkish purple for the Bassard collectors there. Still got quite a bit of the underlying hull material coming through in this one. And with this pale green and pinkish purple pattern on the hull. The pinkish purple and the white there for the impulse engines, same there for the nacelles. And you start to see a bit more of that lighter green shading with that pinkish purple pattern on it there. See a bit more here at the base of the neck and up here as well. There's a bit more of it there on the underside. Next up is the Lukari Restoration Initiative Vanity Shield. We've got a bit of this illuminated line underneath the head here, and with this pinkish white deflector at the purple there on the Bassard collectors. You can see some more of that illuminated white light there as well. A bit of a spectrum going from the pinks through purples, blues, greens, so forth, with this white spectrum shape to it as well. More of the illuminated white lines there. And at that vibrant pink there for the nacelle itself, we've got this greenish colour to the hull material. There's a bit of that rusty orange there as well. A bit of a shine to it there as the light hits it. Again, more of that illuminated pink and white colours there. More of that rusty orange as well. And then we're the same there on the underside. Here we have the new Romulus Reman Vanity Shield. So I've got rid of that red glow. That's the first thing I noticed there. We've got that cyan aqua blue green colour there for the deflector. We've got this dull green here on the Bassard collectors. Green there for the impulse. Got some of this light panelling effect here at the back. A bit of brighter green there for the nacelle itself. As we rotate through, get that metallic green shine as the light hits it. See a lot more of those light panels there on the head of the ship and on the main body as well. And a lot more of that light paneling effect there on the underside. So much so it's even illuminating the Klingon emblem slightly as well. Then we come to the Nukara Strikeforce Vanity Shield. Fortunately that red glow is now back. And with that cyan blue there for the deflector array. Cyan blue there on the Bizarre collectors. This bluey grey hull material with quite a bit of pattern detail to it. This vibrant yellow there for the nacelles. You can see that pattern effect on the Bizarre collectors here. Then we have this conduit material pattern as well. Rotate through, we get a bit of a yellow shine as the light hits the hull material. And on the underside we've got more of that conduit effect there with a bit of cyan blue line lighting as well. Here we have the Omega Force Vanity Shield. Got a slight pulsating effect here on the Bizarre collectors. We'll have a close look at them in a moment. It's retaining most of the Vor'Cha material there. See some of this blue check pattern at the rear here. Bit blue lighting there at the back of the nacelles. And a bit blue up here as well. Then we're retaining the red there of the nacelle. Then we've got this honeycomb white and blue pulsating pattern here on the Bizarre collectors. As we look down, we've got a lot more of that blue checker pattern and this grey hull material as well, and some more of the blue material also. And a lot more of the blue checker pattern on the underside there. This very colourful shield belongs to the Temporal Defence Initiative. So we've got this purplish hull material, this very bright yellow deflector there. We've got this orange and yellow Bizarre collector. We've got some illuminated yellow lines throughout the hull material as well. We've got a lot of these multicoloured areas which do change as the light hits them, and we'll see that in a moment. Very, very vibrant pink impulse engines there. There's more of those illuminated yellow lines. Got the yellow there on the nacelle itself, and there's that lovely colours of the orange and reds in the Bizarre collectors. As we rotate through, you'll see several sections of the ship starting to change colour. Got this greyish leathery material effect as well going on. Yeah, some orange illuminated dots and dashes, more of the yellow illuminated lines. See those areas changing colour again as we rotate back through the light. A lot easier to see as we come from the shadow into the light as well. Now quite a bit of that leathery pattern material on the underside as well. And the last of the Tier 6 reputation shields is the Terran Task Force Vanity Shield. So I've got this blue deflector. I've got this yellow and pinkish purple here on the Bizarre collector. You can see quite a few illuminated blue lines and dashes and dots. Very bright cyan blue impulse engines there. The cyan blue in the cells as well. bit yellow lighting there at the rear of the ship. Same at the back of the nacelles here. As we look the top down, we've got almost a welded hull plating pattern going on in certain parts of the ship here. A lot more of that yellow lighting effect and quite a bit of the illuminated blue lines and dashes and dots as well. And we're the same there on the underside. Next section, we're looking at the summer and winter event store shields. So these are available all year round, providing that you have collected enough of the consumables during the events to be able to craft them. So the first one up is the Fek'lhri Vanity Shield from the winter store. At the time of recording, it is currently the only one in the winter store. So I've got this vibrant yellow effect there on the deflector. You see the red and yellow there on the Bassard collectors. This yellow here on the impulse engines. You see this grey hull material, it's got speckles of rusty red in it. I want this red material fill here as well. This red effect here for the nacelles. As we rotate through, those red material areas, you see them changing as the light hits them. And we've got more of the red material fill there on the underside as well. That's quite a nice shield for the Klingon ships, I think. So the first shield from the baseball series in the summer event store is the Andorian Blue Boars. So this shield is blue and orange. You can see there with that yellowy orange effect there on the deflector, same here on the nacelles with the Bassard collectors and a bit there at the back of them. And this yellowy orange effect here for the impulse engines. That orange effect there for the nacelle itself. There's more of the orange fill. As I rotate it through, we get this orange reflection as the light hits it. Unfortunately, I can't zoom in any further on this, but I did discover when I was doing another video that in the reflection is actually the logo for the baseball team, which I thought was a really nice touch. Next up is the Bozeman Titans. So this is a grey and yellow Vanity Shield. With these baseball shields, they all follow the same pattern on the hull, and all it's changing is the colours relative to the shield. Here we have the yellow deflector, yellow Bassard collectors. We've still got this red glow that just shouldn't be there, but we've seen that on a few ships in the videos that I've done so far. The yellow there on the impulse engines, you can see the grey there on the hull. And we've got the yellow for the nacelles as well. Rotate through, we get that yellow shine. Next up, it's the Caitian claws. So this is a purple and yellowy gold Vanity Shield. So we see the yellow there on the deflector, same on the Bassard collectors. The yellow there on the impulse engines. You see the purple being the primary colour there on the hull. There's that gold effect there. That yellow on the nacelle. through, get that nice shine as the light hits it. And then unfortunately that red glow is ruining the look on the underside, I'm afraid. Here I have the Deep Space Niners, so based off of their uniform in the Season 7 episode of DS9, Take Me Out to the Holosuite. So we have oranges, whites, reds and blues in this one. See there the red and yellow in the Bizarre Collector there. This whitey grey hull material with a gradient fill to the orange. And with this red and orange effect here on the cell itself, and the blue fill as well on the material. And get a bit of orange shine as the light hits the shield as we rotate through it. This is the Denebian Slime Devils, or as I've come to think of it, the Joker cars from the '89 Batman film, because ever since it dawned on me it was the same colours, that's all I can think of. Now, purple is the main colour on the hull here, and I've got some of the green there at the front, green deflector, green Bizarre Collectors there, shockingly, green impulse engines, and got the green in the cell as well. Nice bit of reflection there as we let the light hit it. Next up is the Ferenginar Liquidators. This is a green and gold Vanity Shield. I've got this yellow here on the deflector, same with the Bizarre Collectors. Same there on the impulse engines. There's a gold shading with the primary green hull. Got the yellow there in the nacelles as well. Next up is the Stem Bolts Vanity Shield. So this is a pink and greyish white. You can see this greyish white here on the deflector. Same there on the Bizarre Collectors. Same there on the impulse engines and in the cells as well. They've got various shades of pink throughout the hull material there. Rotate through, we get that nice pink shine as the light hits it. This is the Vulcan Logicians Vanity Shield. So again, this is from the Season 7 episode of Deep Space Nine, Take Me Out to the Holosuite. So we have a grey, purple and gold Vanity Shield here. So we've got the purple there on the deflector and on the Bizarre Collectors. Same there on the impulse engines. So a touch of that gold colour with the grey hull and the purple fill on the material at that section there. And got purple and then purple in the nacelles. You see more of that gold there as well. As we rotate through, we get this purpley blue shine to it. And last but not least, it's the Workbees. So we've got this gold and red shield here. We'll get this yellow here on the deflector, same here on the Bizarre collectors there. Yellow there on the impulse engines. Same for the nacelles, and there's that red there. A bit of a gradient up to the goldish colour of the hull. So rotate through, we get that red shine as the light hits it. So the next section we're coming to is the Vanity Shields available in the Dilithium store, and these are available during certain times of the year, normally during a bonus Dilithium event, and from the Zen store. So the first one we shall have a look at is the only one currently available in the Zen store, and that is the Alliance Vanity Shield. So this comes part of the Khitomer Alliance bundle. In that bundle you get the shield, the uniform and an upgrade. So we see here with that cyan blue there on the deflector array, still got that yellow glow unfortunately. Got this red and orange effect here on the nacelles. We've got this white, almost white grey hull material. Back here we've got these yellow with a touch of red in the impulse engines. You see some of that gold material there. And we have the cyan blue there on the nacelles, and some of this dark grey material as well. And down, so you can see the pattern there on the wings is highlighted in the gold material, and we've got the dark grey there, and more of the gold on the head of the ship. You also see these red lines as well throughout the material. And then there on the underside, more of the dark grey and the gold there on the wings, and more gold going up the centre of the ship and into the head of the ship as well. Next up is the first shield from the Dilithium store, and it's the M.A.C.O Vanity Shield. It's a very popular shield in the game. So as you can see, we've got this dark hull material, got this cyan blue here on the Bizarre collectors, got the white here on the deflector array. Got this lovely deep red effect here on the impulse engines. And then got more of that cyan blue there on the nacelles themselves. And you can faintly make out some markings in that on the hull as a pattern to give your ship the look of a M.A.C.O vessel. There's some more of the markings there and here as well. Next up, it's the Borg Vanity Shield. So this gives your vessel the look of a liberated Borg vessel, not an assimilated vessel. It does cause some confusion, a bit controversy with folk thinking that they get this shield and you give your vessel the assimilated look. So we've got this grey hull plated look. It's not smooth, it's very a lot of raised sections and ridges and that on it. And this dark blue section here on the Bizarre collectors, still with that stupid red glow though, even though we don't have the red nacelles. Got the blue there on the impulse engines. Got these exposed sections of the hull that give off this yellow bit of lighting here with conduits underneath. And got blue there on the nacelles as well. As I look down, I've got more of these blue lit areas, and again they are sections missing hull plates and showing the conduits underneath. And there's more of that gold lighted areas as well. And with the same there on the underside. Here we have the Discovery Vanity Shield. So this is the look you get when you apply it on a Federation character, and we'll look at the one you get on the KDF in a moment. So we've got the light grey hull material, got the blue here on the Bizarre collectors, got this honeycomb red here on the impulse engines, and more blue there on the nacelles, and you can see that pattern effect on the facade collectors there. This is designed to give your ship the look of vessels seen in Season 1 of Star Trek Discovery. One honeycomb pattern there at the back. This is the Discovery shield on a KDF character. So this is supposed to give your vessel the look of what they refer to as Klingons in Discovery. So we've got this brown hull material, all these glyphs and shapes on them. Got this red and white effect here on the deflector. A nice effect there and pattern there on the impulse engines. This oval shapes here on the nacelles themselves, and then got this pulsating white and red effect here on the facade collectors. You can see all those shapes and glyphs and that on the hull material itself. And more so there on the underside. Next up, it's the Emperor's Vanity Shield. So again, we've got this grey hull material here, this bright yellow here on the facade collectors, that cyan blue there for the impulse engines. You see a bit purple shading on certain parts of the hull there. And we've got the yellow there on the nacelles as well. And you can make out some of these illuminated blue dots that are throughout the hull material. It does give a Starfield kind of look to it. And there's more of that purple hull material there. You can make out faintly some more of the blue dots. As I say, it does cover the full hull. Same again on the underside, and unfortunately that daft red glow, even though we don't have the red nacelles. And when you take your cruiser into a repair dock run by Ferengis, this is what it comes out looking like. So this is the Ferengi Vanity Shield. We've got this yellow here on the facade collectors, with the orange hull material, with the yellow deflector array there, with some touches of grey there as well. The yellow there on the impulse engines, and we've got these goldy coloured sections as well. I've got a lighter yellow there for the nacelles. And you can see on the hull material there's a lot of rivets showing. And you can see a lot of the raised sections of the hull there outlined with the gold trim, or gold there as well. Slightly lighter shade of it there, and on the wings again more of the rivet effect and the pattern effect to the orange of the hull material. The same again there on the underside. Now we come to the Hur'q Vanity Shield. So we've got this greenish hull material, the yellow there on the deflector array, and we've got this pale green on the facade collector there. And this design on the impulse engines with that pale green as well. Pale green there again on the nacelles. Then we've got this plum colour here. And you see this illuminated pattern effect on the head of the ship, and again here on the wings and at the back. And quite a bit more of it there on the underside. Here we have the Kelvin Divergence Vanity Shield. So this is on a Federation character, so it gives your ship the look of Federation vessels in the reboot films. The Klingon one has a different look, and we shall have a look at that one next. So That deflector is actually white, but because of this daft yellow glow that's persistent, you can't really make it out. Same with that red glow that's persistent on this model as well. Got this orange pattern here on the impulse engines. And got the blue there on the cells, and then this god awful Bizarre Collector effect that's supposed to replicate the look of the Bizarre Collector on the Kelvin in the first film, and it really doesn't work on any of the ships so far. Much rather either blanked it out completely like the Section 31 shield does, or just made it the blue as the same as in the cell. This is the Kelvin Divergence Vanity Shield on a KDF character. So we see this grill effect here on the deflector array. We've got the yellow there on the Bizarre Collectors. The hull material is very similar to the standard Vor'Cha one, this green. That honeycomb pattern there on the impulse engines. And we've got this very faded dull blue here on the nacelles. The different shade of green there. And they're the same again there on the underside. Here we have the Section 31 Vanity Shield. So we've still got this yellow here on the deflector. We've got this dark hull material, that stupid red glow, and then the Bizarre Collectors themselves are blacked out. This vibrant red honeycomb pattern here on the impulse engines. Cyan blue there for the nacelle itself, and a bit of an illuminated blue line there. And we've got this line pattern going on here on the wings. And a bit more of that line pattern there on the underside, going right up the ship and into the head of the vessel as well. So here we have the Zenkethi Vanity Shield. So we've got this green hull material, and quite a bit of this illuminated lighting effects going on that do pulsate, and we'll have a look at that closer in a moment. So that yellow there on the deflector, these white Bizarre Collectors, the white impulse engines, and then you're going to see that pulsating white effect going on here. You've got the white on the cells, you can see a bit of a pattern effect there on the Bizarre Collector as well. Then we've got the black there, again more of that pulsating light effect throughout quite a portion of the ship. More of the black hull material shading going on around the head there. The same again there on the underside. Then we come to the last shield that's currently available in the Dilithium store, and that is the Zat Vash shield. So we've got a two-tone, we've got this green and this brown colour. We've got green there on the Bizarre Collectors. This nice red effect here for the impulse engines. And quite the bright green there on the nacelles. Look at the top down, you can see the two-tone pattern there to the hull, almost looks like an army camouflage. So even though it is a Romulan shield. I do think it looks quite nice on these Klingon ships. If we only could get rid of that red lighting and the yellow lighting that's not really applicable, that would be good. Then we come to our last section of the shield visuals, and these are on shields that you can obtain through the reputation system and mission rewards. They can be equipped as a shield on your vessel, or they can be slotted into the visual slots on your ship, just to give you the visual look whilst you have another shield applied. So the first one that we'll be looking at is the Lukari Restoration Initiative Regenerative Shield from the Lukari Rep. So you can see a very bright shield, quite a light hull material here, blue there on the deflector with his illuminated line here, got the blue there for the Massard collectors, some of that spectrum effect there on the impulse engines, so we're going through the pinks, purples, blues and then whites. Then we've got that cyan blue there on the nacelles as well. And as we rotate through there, we see that blue shine effect as light hits it, and we've got more of this white and blue illuminated sections here. And on the underside we've got a bit of the illuminated lines and some more of the cyan blue as well. Next up is the adapted M.A.C.O covariant shield from the Omega Rep. So this is one you get for Federation characters, and there's a Klingon version, the adapted Klingon Honor Guard Resilient Shield, that we'll look at next. So we're retaining the base hull material here, which case is the Vor'Cha. You see here we've got this pulsating effect here on the Massard collectors. With this honeycomb pattern covering quite a bit of the ship. There's a better view of that pulsating effect there. As we rotate through, you'll see that blue shine as the light hits it, and then we've got some dark grey sections with the honeycomb pattern on them as well. And then we're the same again there on the underside. So here we have the adapted Klingon Honor Guard Resilient Shield from the Omega Rep. So this is the Klingon version of the M.A.C.O shield. So as you can see here, we've got this grey hull material, got this illuminated sections here at the front of the wings. A slightly different effect there on the deflector. And the yellow and orange and white there for the impulse engines. Same there for the nacelles. Then you've got that honeycomb goldish colour to the Massard collectors there. Got some more of the illumination there on the top. So here we have the Aegis or the Aegis covariant shield. So this is from the R&D. This is on a Federation character, so we've got this white and blue illuminated lines, as you can see quite a bit here on the ship. There's more of that illuminated lines there, quite bright on the back. This honeycomb pattern here to the nacelles, along with the blue and white there. We'll be looking at the Klingon one next, and you'll see the difference in the colour schemes on that one. Yeah, very bright there on the underside. And here we have the Aegis or the Aegis covariant shield on a KDF character. So as you can see, we've got this orange illumination on here as opposed to the blue and white we've just seen on the Federation one. More of that orange illumination there. So that honeycomb pattern effect there to the Bizarre characters. And we've got that goldish colour there to themselves himself. And a lot more of that illuminated orange lighting outlining several sections of the hull. And more so there on the underside. Here we have the assimilated regenerative shield from the Omega rep. So this is the one that gives your vessel the assimilated look. If you apply this shield along with the impulse engines, the deflector and the assimilated module from the Omega rep, you'd get a lot more Borg structures on your vessel. So you can see here we've got this greenish yellowy Bizarre collector, same there on the deflector array. Same here, we've got this yellowish green to the impulse engines, with the green there on the nacelle itself, and then you start to see some of this assimilated pattern on the hull material. And a bit more there in between these raised sections of hull, and same there on the head of the ship. And the same again there on the underside. Next up is the Bajor Defense Covariant Shield. So this is a mission reward from one of the old Dominion missions. So as you see here, we've got this orange and yellow here on the Bizarre collectors. We've got this almost beige colour to the hull material. Quite a vibrant bright yellow there on the impulse engines. Cyan blue there on the nacelles themselves, and some touches of gold colouring there as well. Down we've got this pastel red colour pattern on certain parts of the ship and along the head of the ship there as well. And you can see these grooves giving the illusion of raised hull plating as well. Same there on the underside. This is the Counter Command Covariant Shield from the 472 reputation. So you see here we've got this green and yellow effect here on the Bizarre collectors. A dulled down yellow deflector there. Got this greenish colour here to the impulse engines. And you see this blue material on certain parts of the ship with the base material shown on other sections. And that yellowish green again there on the nacelles, and we've got some of this illuminated green lines and circles. As we rotate through, that blue material has a slightly mirror effect as the light hits it. See more of these blue ridge pattern coming on here, and more of those illuminated green lines. And the same again there on the underside. This is the Delta Alliance Unimatrix Shield from the Delta reputation. So I've got this greenish colour here to the deflector. Same here on the Bizarre collectors. This grey hull material. You see some of the gold accents on parts of the ship. Then we have the green there on the impulse engines. Same there on the nacelles, and you see that pattern effect there on the Bizarre collectors. At the top here, we've got quite a few pieces of illuminated green lines and shapes. And we've also got some of the gold trim going around all the raised areas of the hull. the same again there on the underside. This is the Dyson Regenerative Shield from the Dyson Reputation. You can see here we've got this very light grey or almost white hull material. Got this illuminated pink lines here at the front. See more of that there at the back. Better view and profile there. So see some of the base hull material there on the cells. Certain parts coming through on the top, but there's a better view there of that illuminated pink line pattern on the hull there. And the same again there on the underside. Here we have the Iconian Resistance Resilient Shield from the Iconian Reputation. So slightly different from the Vanity Shield. We've got slightly different colours here. So we've got this goldish colour here on the facade collectors. Same there on the impulse engines. You can see this grey shading with this red and orange pattern to it. And a goldy colour there to the cells as well. As we rotate through, those grey sections have a slightly mirror effect as the light hits them. See a bit more of that grey with that pattern effect on certain sections of the ship. And we're the same there on the underside. This one is the Nukara Crystalline Resilient Shield. So it's very similar to the Vanity Shield, just a slightly lighter hull material. There's that cyan blue there on the deflector and the facade collectors there. That nice yellow effect there on the impulse engines. Then that vibrant yellow there for the nacelles, and you can see that pattern to the facade collectors here. As there's that lightly blue grey hull material, and it's still got that carved pattern to it as well. There on the underside there's a bit of cyan blue illuminated lines there, and some of this other pattern effect that gives a conduit kind of look to the hull material. Here's the Omega Force Shield from the Omega Rep. So very similar to the Vanity Shield variant. Again, we've got this pulsating effect here on the facade collectors. Still retaining the base Vor'Cha hull material there. You can see this check pattern, but instead of it being blue, this time it's gold. And we've got the gold trim here as well. See a bit more pulsating lights here as well, at the back of the nacelles. There's that honeycomb effect there. There's more of that gold check pattern on the wings and then on the head of the ship, and more gold colouring there. We've got quite a bit more of that check pattern there on the underside as well. Here we have the prevailing innervated resilient shield from the competitive Wargames reputation. So you see here I have this yellow deflector retaining the red there on the facade collectors. We've got this light grey hull material with a lot of blue illumination on it. The Vanity Shield was a yellow illumination, so that's the only difference between the two shields. see more of that illuminated blue lines and dots there on the hull material. Again, the end of the wings. And more of the blue illumination. Same there on the underside. Here we have the Romulan Advanced Prototype Shield from the new Romulus rep. So what this one's doing is adding these green illuminated lines to certain parts of your ship, and it's also retaining the base hull material. There's those green illuminated lines there on the back. And around this part of the nacelle here. See a bit there on the neck as well. Some more of the green illuminated lines there as well. And we've also got this lighter green shaded pattern coming in as well. Certain parts of the hull. A bit here on the underside as well. Here we have the Temporal Defense Initiative Regenerative Shield from the Temporal Defense Reputation System. So, slightly lighter in colour compared to the Vanity Shield. We've got that purple and blue there on the deflector. We've still got these sections of the ship that have got quite a few different colours on them that do change as the light hits them. Got the blue there on the Bussard collectors. Blue there for the impulse engines. Got that leathery hull material effect, and this time it's a more of a tan colour. And there's the purple and blue there on the Bussard and the nacelles. You can make out faintly here, these illuminated lines are pink as opposed to yellow as they were on the Vanity Shield. And as we start to rotate through, the light changes and then the colours change as well. Better on as we go through the underside as we're coming out the shade of the ship as the light hits it. This is the Terran Task Force covariant shield from the Terran Task Force Reputation, so quite a bit different from the Vanity Shield from the same rep. We've got the purple here on the Bussard collectors, so these illuminated purple sections here as well. Quite a dark hull material. The yellow there for the impulse engines, again more of that illuminated purple lightings and lines showing. And the yellow there for the nacelles itself. Some illuminated yellow lines and dashes and dots along with the purple ones there. Some of that welded hull plate look as well in certain parts. And we're the same again there on the underside, and more of those illuminated purple lines as well. This is Tilly's review pending modified shield from the Discovery Reputation. So as a shield it is extremely good in the game. As a visual I think it's absolutely terrible. I never use this or the Vanity Shield from the Discovery Reputation either. So all it's doing is giving this oily effect again to your hull material. Here we have the Dielectric Oscillation Resilient Shield. So this is from the mission Cold Storage, which is a old mission for the Breen. It's not part of the main story arcs anymore, but you can still play it through your available missions window. Unfortunately, as I say, it is an old shield and it has not stood the test of time well. So we've got the green there on the deflector and the Bassard collectors. We've got pale greens, greys and black on the hull material pattern itself. Green there for the impulse engines. Same for the nacelles there. Just not quite as crisp and clean as the newer shields are, unfortunately. Maybe one day we'll get another green shield, never know. Here we have the Jem'Hadar Resilient Shield. So if you start as a Jem'Hadar character, you have this shield on your ship. For non-Jem'Hadar characters, this is a mission reward from Boldly the Road, I believe. One of the older missions. And you see here we've got this grey hull material, and we've got the purple there on the Bassard collectors, purple there for the impulse engines, same for the nacelles, and then we've also got some purple shading on parts of the hull. See there, more of that purple shading. Well, I do think it's quite a nice shield. It is one of my favourite shields to apply on ships. It's quite subtle, I think. And then we come to our last shield, the Reman Prototype Covariant Shield. So this is from the mission Coliseum, which is part of the main story arcs, and is generally the first shield in the game that you get that has a visual aspect to it. So you see here, it almost looks like rays of sunlight coming across the deflector here with this blue and white. This unusual colouring effect here on the Bassard collectors. This metallic colouring going on, various shades of reds, browns and greens, and even slightly aqua as well. The aqua there for the impulse engines. Same there for the cells. It's a very dull grey green colour by the looks of it. And we do get a bit of a metallic shine as the light reflects off of it. And then we've got those illuminated panels as well. And quite a few more of them on the underside. And that concludes our look at the Vor'Cha class cruiser with the Vanity Shields on it. So as always, thank you all very much for watching. This is recorded on Hogmanay, so if I get it released before midnight, then I wish you all the best for 2025. Chapters listed down below as always. Also links to the STO wiki, the Star Trek Online news blog, and of course Casual Sab's YouTube channel, so you can find your builds, reviews, Q&As and live streams there. Do please like and subscribe. I might be changing the format to these videos going forward in 2025, but I'll drop a post about that, and then I'll take your feedback when I do the first video. So until then, thanks again for watching.